Hi everybody, how's it going? It's Jackson. Welcome back to the Golden Vendor and Filer Ool run-throughs for the 28th of March. As always, if you're looking for one thing in particular that I talk about, you can check the time codes in the description below, and I've got a timestamp for when I start talking about each one in particular. So this weekend we've got Nerien'eth and we've got Sellistrix Shoulders. So any case with shoulders, even if they're like DLC related, you can buy these with keys anytime you want, even if you don't own the DLC. So I don't usually suggest getting these for 100,000, but there are some cases where, like as an example for me, one of my accounts, I got, I was trying to get the Nerien'eth Shoulders, and I bought like a heap of the Crypt of Hearts ones, and I ended up getting 3 Alambris ones in a row, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So yeah, sometimes it can be fair enough if you just want to buy these and get that out of the way. But yeah, I do suggest trying to use keys instead, because it's much easier. Like doing Crypt of Hearts 2 on Veteran for the Helm is a lot more annoying, and when that comes up in the Golden Vendor, it's probably better to get those. Anyway, so Nerien'eth. This comes from Crypt of Hearts 2. Deal direct damage, you create an AoE, it explodes after just like a moment, and deals a bunch of AoE damage. Very short cooldown, very easy to proc on certain builds, a very solid monster set for PvE. Wouldn't recommend it for PvP because people will just see the crystal, see the AoE, and it's like, ah, fuck, I gotta get out of that. So it usually doesn't hit anyone. Maybe if you stun them as it hits, it might be good, and it does a fair amount of damage. But yeah, mostly PvE, really good. It works over range, which is really nice. And it should be noted that now, any channeled ability counts as direct damage. So some examples of this are... Oh goddamn, I don't have subclassing. Arcanist Beam is considered direct damage. Templar Jabs is considered direct damage. So those can actually proc this constantly, and it is very strong for those builds. For PvE, that is. And yeah, it can also proc over range, and one of the best skills for procking it over range is Force Shock. Probably more fit to... I personally go Crushing Shock for the Magicka cost reduction, but yeah, either one's good. And yeah, 3 direct damage sources, you constantly apply it as well with this, and because it's got such a short cooldown, you just usually apply this, it goes bang, 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 keeps hitting them over and over. It's very easy to use and works on a lot of good builds. Sellistrix. This is similar, and the way you apply it is like... It's very easy to apply. Any damage you deal, and every 6 seconds, so very easy to use this one as well. I don't really recommend it for PvE damage dealing, because max stamina is the one piece that's not as good as like getting crit chance or weapon and spell damage, in the case of Nerien'eth. But for for PvP, it's really good, because you can apply it over range. There's no... Like, it's very easy to control. You just hit the target and it starts applying. It stuns people, and the best thing about the stun is it applies every 6 seconds, right? So naturally, Break Free has a cooldown of 5 seconds, or sorry, an uptime of 5 seconds. So you apply this, they break free, the next time it can apply, the Break Free will already be gone, so you can stun them again. So it's really easy to just keep stunning them with this, and keep getting their Break Free down at a pretty solid pace. Obviously, if they've got the CC immunity potions, it's not going to be as good, but yeah, a decent option for PvP, just because you can apply it over long distance, which is not really the case for some other things which apply good stuns. So yeah, and for AoE in PvE, like just like solo play, it's pretty good too, but just the 4 meters is not that big if you want to hit a lot of stuff at once. So I don't really like it for PvE just for that reason. But it's a solid, underrated set. Really isn't talked about a lot, I think, compared to some of the other really powerful sets. For good reason, obviously, but yeah, it's an interesting one. And one of the better monster sets, which really does tell you a lot about like how many fucking monster sets are in this game. Okay, so that's the 2... Oh, sorry, this is Arx Corinium. Personally, I wish this monster set had like the lamiest Scream as a proc effect. I think that would have been much cooler. But yeah, obviously, it's like, that might be really annoying to hear all the time in like group play, I guess, so maybe not. But yeah, I wish that was the case. Alright, so that's the monster sets. Now onto the jury. So we've got 4 rings. We've got Death Dancer. This comes from Solstice. It's pretty new. It's the medium set there. The So just so we're clear, the core combat abilities in this game, if you're not familiar, they are roll dodge, block, break free, and sprint. So it doesn't actually reduce the cost of a lot of skills. The core combat abilities, to me, like, outside of PvP, you're not really going to be using a lot of like resources for that, unless you're a stamina build. I guess it's kind of not too bad. Yeah, crit chance. That amount of crit chance you can get from Leviathan and Mother Sorrow anyway. And when you're below that much stamina, like it means you're just not going to be able to get all that crit chance, which is can be a bit of a pain in the ass in PvE if you just want to control how much crit chance you have. So yeah, personally, I just use Leviathan and just skip this, especially since the 2 to 4 piece is kind of all over the place. Stamina recovery is much more of a PvE like solo play thing. I don't think you need this when in group play. You usually just get things that give you lots of resources, and there's other ways to get resources anyway. So yeah, personally, I'd just stick to Leviathan for something like this. But it is an overland set, so it is kind of nice. Oh, looks like I've just been disconnected. Okay. Hold on. Whoops, use my ultimate. Alright, so we're back. And yeah, where were we? Okay, so yeah, Death Dancer. Wouldn't really recommend this. The only thing is the quality is quite impactful to the set, because the crit chance and the core combat ability cost reduction is actually both impacted by quality, which is weird. It's not very usual for new sets. I should point out as well, for the monster sets, quality does not impact these at all for some reason. So if you upgrade these to gold, it should still give you the same amount of magic damage. So if I just go Nerien'eth, yeah, see, even at gold, it's still 7,000. I don't know. It seems that all monster sets are actually designed that way, which is interesting. Oh, really? Have I been... What is going on? Alright, look. Oh, cool. We're back. Okay, so next up, Gryphon's Reprisal. This comes from Coral Airy. It's the medium set you can get there. The 2 to 4 piece is... It's nice. The offensive pen might not be very good for, like, organized group play, because usually your team will just give you a bunch of offensive pen from like their support sets. Solo play though, and like unorganized group play, like random dungeons, might be okay. The only thing is the proc is... I'll get to that. So when you deal crit damage, gives you a synergy, which is quite unique. Activating the synergy just creates a 5 meter AoE damage over time effect that applies to like enemies in that 5 meters. The 20-second cooldown though, that's long. And like the damage over time is over 10 seconds, so it's like that amount of bleed damage. The damage over time, like for the whole fight, just divide it by 20 basically. So yeah, because of that, don't really like too much that, and the main issue is the proc, like the synergy. Because the synergy actually scales with the stats of the person who activates it. Usually that's going to be the tank. And the tank's not going to have very high damage of weapon and spell damage. Compared to you, that is. And like crit chance and stuff will be lower. And like all the time you'll just have this prop taken by other people in group play. And so it's just really hard to use it properly because, you, the person who wants to use it, just gets it taken. But it's pretty good in solo play. Really, really good for like going through public dungeons and shit and just wrecking things. Because yeah, obviously it's just you, so you can control when the synergy is thrown. Yeah, other than that, I wouldn't really use it too much. The quality is relevant, which is also very bizarre. So if I just go set items, let's go Gryphon. Yeah, so 24,528, but at gold quality, it's still 24,528. It's very odd. Usually the damage sets, like, they're affected by quality, but yeah, that one's not. Okay, next up, Silver Rose. This is the Red Petal Bastion Dungeons Heavy stat. The max stats, the 2 to 4 piece just gives you a bunch of max stamina and health. Basically, block a few hits, throws a damage proc at the last person who, like, hit you, and the damage scales with your health. Major Maim as well applies to the target, which is it's okay. There's easier ways to get Major Maim, though, and you can just get it like constantly and just choose who you hit. That's the biggest issue I see with this set. It's hard to really choose who you want to hit with this, because imagine you've got like 3 people hitting you as a tank in like PvP, and there's like 2 that have like 40,000 health. There's one that's got like less than that. You try and block when the one with 30,000 health, less than 40k health hits you, but the other two just like happen to hit you at the same, like one of them just happens to hit you with like a damage over time effect just before that. And in that, damage over time, I don't think that can be blocked, can it? Anyway, so yeah, and it just ends up hitting the one you don't want to hit. So it's just can be hard to control who gets hit by this exactly, because it's just one target. Because yeah, you cannot gain additional stacks of Realm Shaper for 12 seconds. It's not the target cannot be affect your Realm Shaper. It's that all stacks cannot be gained for 12 seconds. So just every 12 seconds, you're just going to not be able to hit other targets that you perhaps wanted to. So that's my main issue with this one. That's why I don't really suggest it. Also, tanks aren't really designed to be dealing damage. Like in PvP, I guess it's like okay. But even then, like, you're not usually going to be dealing a lot of damage because, yeah, all your other stats are just going to be heavily, like, defense-based. So, yeah, don't really suggest this one too much either. Okay, next up, Senche. This is very similar to Way of Air as we had last week, and probably synergizes quite well with it. Same with Eternal Hunt and that, is it Euphotic Gatekeeper that was the monster set that we talked about? Yeah. So I did say, there's not any sets I can think of that are good like with role builds. Looks like we're getting all of them in the fucking last few weeks, so yeah, that's good, I suppose. Good to remind me. So yeah, you can pair this with other role sets, which can be nice. Not Silver Rose, Centering. Yeah, Way of Air, Roll Dodge gives you weapon spell damage. This one gives you crit damage and crit healing. Quite a lot too. 15% is nothing to laugh at. It's just that, like, in PvP, it's pretty good. Like I said, Eternal Hunt with this in PvP, probably pretty fucking annoying to deal with as someone else fighting you. The only thing for PvE, though, is that you just... Rolling is a huge DPS loss, usually, especially when you have to do it every 10 seconds, so not really something I suggest. Also, stamina recovery and max stamina, it just, like, it shoehorns it into, yeah, you want a stamina build for this, so, yeah, it's just a bit tied up that way. But yeah, for PvP, it's a decent option. Especially since when you look at Order's Wrath, it's 8% for that. So yeah, it's a lot more than Order's Wrath, and 10 seconds roll dodging in PvP usually gonna happen anyway, so yeah. Also should mention, quality does actually affect your crit chance for Senche, which is very weird. So if I go Senche... Yeah, so green is 14%, so you gain 1% by upgrading it, but I think you get 15% at purple. So yeah, a bit odd, but yeah, it's just... Older sets, some of them are actually impacted by the quality, it's just new sets tend to not be. Okay, now on to Phyla Ool. So the two leads this week are Endless Apocryphal Light and Hunger Leather Heal. So I'll just talk about Endless Apocryphal Light because it's basically the same as the Jury Apocrypha stations we had the last 2 weeks. You get it from Infinite Archive. You need to just basically kill the bosses. You need to go open the chest, or the Gwtha Pilferer thing, the little game that runs around sometimes in boss fights, or the what are they called? The places to the unknown, like the extra portal that you get aside the other, like the regular one sometimes when you go through the Infinite Archive. It's like the mini games and stuff. I think you can also get it from there. Just it requires no DLC, which is nice, but just like the other Infinite Archive leads, only get this if it's the last one you need for that specific station, because the odds are you could get this, scry it, and then keep doing Infinite Archive and end up fucking getting it again. That fucking Murphy's third law of bullshit. So I just suggest that. I don't really suggest any other thing aside from that. Even then, probably spend your fortunes on other shit, because odds are, by the time you get all of the possible other lead mythics here, like mythic leads using fortunes, you're probably going to get all the crafting sessions anyway as you go. So yeah, wait until, like I said, just wait until you got the other ones. Now the other one here, Hunger Leather Heal. This comes from killing the Scavenging Maw boss in the Depths of Malatar DLC group dungeon. This requires, or getting Mad God Dancing Shoes requires the Wrathstone and the Wormcold or Solstice DLCs. Wrathstone is specifically for this one here, because you need to actually complete the Depths of Malzahar dungeon. This boss is not easy to fight on your own. You'll need a companion, you'll need another player maybe, or there's an ultimate called Undo, and it has a morph called Precognition, which when you're CC'd you can use it to break free, but whether you can get that ultimate quick enough to stop the thing, because he has like I think all hunger bosses have it. It's like it stuns you, and it is like an interrupt that you need to needs to be bashed. And when you're stunned by the maw, you can't do it yourself, so I think you just end up getting killed. Or I don't know off the top of my head if you can break free from it. I don't think you can though. So yeah, you'll either need a companion who can bash it, or yeah, just like another way to get rid of that. So if you don't want to deal with that shit, if you just want to buy this now, it's totally fair. The only thing is, Mad God Dancing Shoes, this isn't really a necessary mythic to spend such an important resource on, because it just does random shit. It's really hard to rely on. The only thing is reduce the cost of next non-ultimate ability by 14%. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's just completely random what can happen, and because of that, it's just not something I really rely on. If you want a mythic that's like random like that, I'd probably say Saint the Seducer will be much better for you, especially in PvP, because it gives you some really powerful buffs, like Major Force, Major Berserk, Minor Brittle, fucking crazy buffs. So yeah, wouldn't really spend your 5,000 fortunes on that, but just because Mad God Dancer is so weird and unreliable. But you know, it is a fun set to try, a fun mythic to try. So I suppose you can make a case for that. If you're drowning in fortunes, then sure, go for it. As for the other stuff, we don't have any, as far as I'm aware, there's no like fragment this one, because last time it was like fragment of the Blackmoor, I think it was, which you can easily get from Shadowfen. It doesn't look like there's one this week though. You've got the Archival Enigmas, it's the same as always there. Stress for Kai's the treasure map. Good treasure map for if you want to do like the challenges for that stuff, but yeah, you can just buy them for a little bit of gold usually anyway. Wouldn't spend that much fortunes on it. We've got the Vampiric Dresser, the Argonian Light Stick, and the Leowin Lamp Oil Double as the furnishings this time around. Scripts, we've got Innovation. If you're not familiar with what Innovation is, it reduces the crit damage done by the target. It's minor and I believe Major Innovation. I don't know if Major Innovation is even a buff you can get. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Major Innovation is actually a debuff you can apply, so just minor, which reduces it by like 10% or something. Oh, dude, this thing is lit. Sorry. Okay, so Dispel. This is a very specific, and like, there's not a lot of scripts that actually use this. From what I remember, I think Elemental Explosion, it removes area of effect. If I can remember correctly, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it removes enemy area of effect abilities. Quite cool, and could be quite strong to use. Maybe as like a healer, trying to like remove AoE effects in like certain difficult content. I don't know if there's certain things that it can't remove though. But yeah, PvP also quite nice, especially for like some of the beach weapons and stuff. As far as I'm aware, I haven't actually tested it enough to know. But yeah, area of effect ability removal, such a very like cool utility tool for you to be able to use. That's the only one I know of. Like I checked the other ones, like, I can't see it here. So yeah, I don't know. If anyone knows the other, like any other Dispel ones, yeah, let me know for sure. Okay, Trauma. I believe this reduces, yeah, just so Healing Absorption. Healing Absorption, you have to heal that amount for healing to actually start taking effect. So say 5,000 Healing Absorption. Healing does nothing until you heal them that 5,000 amount, and then it'll start actually healing them. So yeah, it can be quite strong in PvP, because healing is a very strong thing in that place. PvE not so much, just because as far as I'm aware, there's not a lot of shit that actually heals itself. There's like one niche circumstance, I think, for Maelstrom. There's the stage, the 8th stage, the cauldron thing, the like lava stage. the healers in that round heal a ridiculous amount. So maybe you can apply that on enemies to stop that. I don't know if that actually affects enemies in PvE. Anyway, so yeah, quite interesting one as well. Crowing Impact. I think, yeah, this just increases the effect of buffs and debuffs. Yeah, Symphony of Blade Shoulder. You do need the... is this... Whoops. Is this... Depths of Meltar? Yeah, Symphony of Blades. So the same one you need for the Scavenging Maw lead. You need the same for Symphony of Blades. So you need Wrathstone as the DLC to access that. Yeah, if you want that shoulder, it's available right now. Medium armor for companion equipment, pretty good. If you can get aggressive, great. It's like one of the... if you had to buy that, it's like super expensive usually. So yeah, just remember you can't sell this one though, because it's bound on pickup. Infectious Claws, Verdant Green, if you like a green theme for a werewolf. Don't know how well that's going to work, because I think it's just like black and white usually is the colours, or grey. Yeah, if you want that, it's there. And then, yeah, you just got the 2 books, Cinders of the Eye, What's an Arcanist. So yeah, that's everything for this week. So if there's anything I got wrong, if there's anything I missed, or if you have any cool stories with any of the sets you've used here, or just any cool stories related to anything, yeah, just put a comment in. I'd like to know. But yeah, I'll just leave it there. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Wish you all a good weekend, and take care for now.